Lead on.
All right. So welcome to the Children's Museum of Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
Gonna head on into the make shop. So come on in.
Oh.
Does it smell like a museum?
It does. It smells like I smell materials.
Ah, yeah. This is one of Mr. Rogers' sweaters. So he was, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood is in Pittsburgh. He's from Pittsburgh, and his mom made all of his sweaters for him.
Seriously? Mm-hmm. Seriously?
So this
is one of the actual sweaters?
Yep.
Holy cow.
Mm-hmm. It's all handmade, hand knit. There's a whole collection of them.
That's
around.
Amazing. I had no, wow. That's really cool.
Yeah. His spirit really infuses this place.
So what do you guys do here?
So it's an all ages makerspace. It's a children's museum, but children don't tend to drive themselves to museums. They come with adults.
Right.
So it's permanent exhibit space. We started prototyping it in 2011 because we knew that people like doing hands-on stuff.
Right.
One of our philosophies is play with real stuff. So we did a month of sewing, a month of woodworking, a month of fiber. Just learned a lot about what was working, what was interesting to people.
Right. This is part of the fiber, I'm guessing.
Part of the fiber. Yep. We have a loom. We've also got some 8-track tape and some dictaphone wire going on.
No way.
Oh,
that's really cool.
So yeah, we've got some sewing and some animation and a lot of building and attaching. That's the 8-track tape one right there.
Which one?
This one you were just touching.
Oh, look at that, running across.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Those were all made by visitors on our 4-harness floor loom over there.
So how, this is amazing. I haven't seen a loom in a makerspace before.
Oh, really?
Have
you ever used one?
I have not. I've seen one being used. Yes. Okay.
Would you like to?
Totally, yes. Totally. Let's do this. Okay.
All right.
So
you're lucky. You're taller than a lot of our other visitors.
Okay. So this is the Traveler. I know that this goes back and forth.
So yeah, you've got your shuttle there. So I would say pick a place. We're not sure where in the pattern we are.
Right.
This looks like a pretty plain weave.
Mm-hmm.
So that if you use your foot to push down on one of the treadles, it pulls these strings and lifts different harnesses.
Ah, okay.
So it looks like this one was just done. So maybe if you switch to a different one, so you don't undo the last row. Yeah, your legs are long enough, but your feet are
My feet
also
are
larger.
giant. Yes.
It's made for
So
barefoot.
then this goes inside.
Right through the shed there, right through the separation.
Nope. And right. So then I do that, and then this comes, right? And you do one of those. Wow.
There you go. Now you know how to use a loom.
Excellent. That is a new skill.
Yeah.
I totally want to make textiles now. That's really cool.
You absolutely should.
Okay.
We're huge fans here.
That's great. You guys are really opening it up to totally different ideas about what to put into a makerspace.
Yeah, so one of the big things is because we work with such young children, things like a 3D printer doesn't have a lot of context for them when they don't know how manual tools work. They don't know a lot about the history of manufacturing. So for a lot of them, process-based and materials exploration, just putting vocabulary to things like, this is flexible, we can weave with it. This is stiff, this is made of fiber. And identifying those things really opens up the future possibilities of understanding how you can solve problems with those.
Awesome.
So we do a ton of that kind of work here.
What other kind of tools do you have? Can we see some?
Yeah, absolutely. So along with our love of our loom, we've got tons of sewing and other fiber things. We do a lot of embroidery and creating stuff, applique. We've got our pinball table over there.
Oh, so it's like it's a customizable, adjustable. Very cool.
Yeah, so we really like to make things too that allow for exploration, so that we can create it and then kids can create their own thing off of that, using it as a tool.
Do I see animation happening?
Yeah, so large-scale stop motion. We've got an iPad mounted down to our super fancy clamp setup.
That's brilliant. They've got a full-size stop-motion studio here for kids to play with, and they're doing a That's fantastic. And you're just using a standard app for animation?
Yeah. We have the paid version, which allows us to use a remote control, which makes it a little easier, so that we're able to show it, so that kids can really see the one-to-one. But otherwise, even just using a camera, we've done that before, just hooking up a nice camera and being able to take photographs.
Wow.
And then all of these props and stuff were made here by staff and visitors and sewn. So we've got...
Look at all the different... Yes.
materials.
Oh, that's great. Oh, look at that.
So one of the things that we struggle with as a museum that's a drop-in space is how do we kind of regulate materials so that there's access to them, but not too much access, maybe?
Height.
And height is a key indicator when you're a child.
You have lockouts for the dangerous tools?
So staff use the bandsaw more than kids do, but the drill press is such a simple mechanism, and it's really easy to do that safely with any ages.
Sure.
And so we have wood, we have a lot of hand tools, so we keep things that are sharp or hot in the back, and because of the way that this is set up, we're able to close the doors to limit access if we need to.
Yeah. I like your tape setup. Wait a minute, this is something this might be how I should do it. Oh, that's really cool. I dig that.
Yeah, it's great for being able to take small pieces or whole rolls.
Yeah, that's amazing. I might just do this right away.
Oh yeah. It's super easy.
Because you often get pieces without having to, and that's why they're all facing that way, because that's the easier way to, nice, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, I gotta take a picture of this.
Go for it.
So what is the next, is there a specific tool or process you covet for the space? What's the next one that you're gonna bring in?
Ooh, the next one. I think one of the things about this space is because of the age and because of the skills of our educators and teaching artists who work here.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of got their own answer to that. I think we're interested in doing a little bit more with some like hard materials. We've never really investigated metals.
Yeah.
So we've been thinking about what are some ways that we can do that in an age-appropriate way and train staff.
I'll tell you, if you have brass sheet that's really thin, like 26 gauge, you can cut that with scissors. And then they make metal bending pliers.
Oh, yeah.
That have wide, flat jaws for, basically it's a metal brake, but it's a handheld metal brake. And
nice.
You can build little boxes and stuff out of brass that you cut out with scissors. So it's relatively safe. Of course, you end up with those edges potentially, but...
Yeah, because we've worked a little bit with like thin sheet aluminum, and that was the big thing. Is we really try to empower all the kids to have agency over their own projects and make their own decisions. And it became a lot of pre-prep for taping all the edges, and so trying to like figure that out. Like, what's a great way to make this accessible without too much danger? You know.
How much engagement is there? How many kids do you guys see here in a week?
We hit over 300,000 visitors last year.
Wow.
Not in a week. On our very busy days.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Very busy days, you might get 3,000 people coming through the door. We're one of the first things that you see when you come into the museum.
Sure.
So that tells you a fair amount about how many people come in. One way that museums often sort of figure out, like, how engaging is a thing, is it working, is dwell time. And the dwell time here is, I think on average, 20-something minutes. We could get kids coming in for a couple hours. We have to come specifically for this.
Summer
and
camps
families.
and other programs and homeschoolers. And,
yeah, we get them all. We get them in different waves during the year.
The thing I love about your focus on textiles, and I say this a lot out in the world when I'm talking about materials, is that sewing is the same as carpentry, as welding, as paper construction. They're all similar, and if you can think through one, you can think through the others.
One of the big things that we talk about is attachment, and that often leads us in interesting ways of investigating and thinking about, is there an alternative way to attach these that's maybe not typical, or is there a different type of material that we could use to attach in the same way?
Yeah. Thank you so much for showing me this beautiful space.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it. I want to play.
Please do.